You may have been wondering, which commanders should I be working on? Which commanders should I be maxing? And it's hard to test it without actually doing that in game. Well, Speckoh thought that he would go ahead and create a tester to enable you to test out whale KVK tech and any commander in Rise of Kingdoms. Stick around to learn more. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms gameplay episode from your very own Shappy Gaming. Today, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Speckoh. Say hello.
Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody?
Well, Speckoh, welcome to Shappy Gaming. I don't know if you're terribly familiar with the channel, but I wanted to have you on because I saw a video that Omniarch was showing off, where he walked through murder ball testing, and he was showing off that you could actually figure out how much damage a particular march can contribute to a single target. And it made me think that this has been something you've been working on for a long time. What inspired this? Like, who are you? Why did you think to create this?
I started playing a long time ago, right when the game kind of started. And initially, I was really interested in art testing, and I wanted a way to, test commanders without having to, set up an arc test with a bunch of, guild members or alliance members. And this was the way to do it.
That's
This was
awesome.
a quick way to do it.
How long did it take you to get this set up for the first time? Because I know you originally had a battle simulator, which was more for like 1v1 testing. How long did that take, and then how long did the new murder ball tester take?
The murder ball tester is fairly new. It just started, I think, in the summer. Uh, the original simulator, it started off small. It started off with like a couple of commanders, and it kind of grew from there, which was like, you probably saw the Reddit post. It was 2 years ago. So yeah,
Yeah,
it started off small, and then it eventually kept growing, and people, asked for a lot of suggestions, and I just started making it better and better.
that's awesome. How did you figure out how all of the different mechanics for all these commanders work? I feel like that's like the secret sauce of Rise of Kingdoms.
It initially started with, searching online for some formulas. Some people found some formulas, and I inputted them in, and I tried them out myself. Uh, some of them worked to an extent, some of them didn't. But I had to test it out in game as well and see if they worked. I It initially wasn't as accurate. It was kind of accurate, but it had to get to a point where it's at right now, where it's a lot more accurate. And I'm still trying to optimize it, but for the most part, I'm very happy with how it currently is.
Yeah, it's a very cool tool, and I've used it a couple times now because I'm trying to figure out, a perfect example of this. Should I be benching Guan Yu for Ragnar, right? Because as a content creator, in theory, I need to validate this myself and then be able to communicate it out. With this tool, I'm able to run a bunch of different combinations of marches and see total damage dealt, and it's really powerful.
Yes, well, initially it started off as 1 versus 1, so it wasn't as powerful because I got a lot of complaints that it's not like the real game where you fight with a bunch of people, a bunch of murder balls. So that's why I started creating the murder ball tester instead, so that it can feel more like you're testing more marches at one time. So you get a better feel of the support marches, the other surrounding marches that you're hitting, and all those other stuff.
Yeah, it's really neat. And I'm seeing the calculations, and I'm actually looking at the murder ball tester right now. Walk me through some of the different capabilities that come with this.
Do you see on the screen where you could change the game mode? Like, I think it's above the role selection.
I see a section right below the timer. Is that it?
Yes. So when you change that, there's a couple other modes. The second one, the first time you change it, there's a reinforcement mode, and then the third
Oh.
time you change it, there's a target dummy mode.
Yep.
Yeah. So the second mode, like when you're using that, you want to use that primarily for garrisons and rallies, so that you can test like for like reinforcements and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
For the third mode, you can test it's kind of like fighting against the pilfer,
Yeah.
but I still need to optimize that mode further because you know I just noticed for like shields, the pilfer doesn't do enough damage to like kind of get through the shields.
Oh, no
So
way.
the damage, yeah. So the damage taken isn't enough. Like if you use like Martel and stuff like that, it'll appear like he doesn't take that much damage, but against like skill damage commanders, it'll be different.
Very, very
But
cool. How did you get into this? Do you have like an engineering background, or were you just like, I want to build this to help out the Rise of Kingdoms community?
well, I initially started a long, long time ago trying to build small games, and eventually I just I enjoy playing rock, so I knew Unity, so I just figured, this was a lot easier than trying to create a spreadsheet to figure out how good each commander is. Because I used to just create spreadsheets like everybody else and try to figure out, okay, what's the weight of this skill? How good is it? Or what's the weight of this stat? But I can just do all that just plugging in like formulas into the, you know, through coding and into the program, and it'll just like spit everything back out. Just run it.
What's wild is like that's how the game works. Is all these commanders have different properties, and it is just code, right? And then you go into it and you apply like normal damage factor plus 10%. You've gone in and actually figured that out, which is it's super cool.
Yeah, I should have done it a lot sooner. I didn't know why I didn't do sooner, but I figured it was a lot easier to do that because I started off with spreadsheets, a whole bunch of spreadsheets, and it took forever. But when I when I just do it through coding, it's just way quicker. It does all the math for me. It's like I just have to, code in the formulas, and
And go from there.
as long as I have everything set up, let the battle run, just do all the math for me.
So cool. I have a battle running right now that I'm showing people on the video. What's next for this, do you think? I noticed that today there's, you know, equipment, so you can go through and you can configure all your equipment. I saw that you have artifacts. Am I able to use iconic equipment or any of those that yet?
You can enter in the iconic, like for each march, there's a iconic input section where you can put like +8, +8, and +16 or whatever.
Oh yeah. So you've really thought of everything.
Well, except for inscriptions and armaments, I know the original Murderable, I mean the original simulator had inscriptions, but I'm trying to make them more accurate. And before I make them more accurate, like I would like it to be fairly accurate before I implement it in there. So that's why I kind of like halted that for the time being until it's like fully accurate, and then I'll implement it.
That's awesome. Do you think you're ever going to let people build their own talent trees as part of this?
Uh, I don't know how to implement that like in a way that makes it quick because I want people to use the simulator in a way that's like fast. You just
Okay.
get in there, test it, and get out. But if you're going in there and you're constantly like changing the talent tree and customizing it, I feel like that would take too much time away from actually testing it.
So have you used
But
it in
I
real
do
time?
believe
What's been your experience?
you're talking about the talent tree.
I'm saying the tester in general. Are you using it in your day to day when you're trying to figure out which troops to run?
Yeah, so the new commander Philip just came out, and I personally run Trajan Scipio
Okay.
for my support march, and I was trying to compare what I should get Philip or not, and maybe replace my Trajan. But I'm purely skill damage. I don't have Luce. I don't use the other commander. What was it, Wallace? So
Hmm.
I purely use like mostly archers and just skill damage commanders. So I found that Trajan works just fine for the time being.
So
And
this
yeah,
has actually
that's
helped you literally make a decision as to whether you should or should not invest in a commander, which is exactly what you're looking for, right?
yeah. So it's different for everybody. Philip might be pretty good for other people, but for my purpose and for my murder ball, it didn't work for me. So when a commander comes out, that's how I'll test it.
That's awesome. And what's the best way for people to A, get their hands on this, and B, support you?
They can go to my Patreon. Sure. It's patreon.com/Speckoh. And all they have to do is, be a supporter one time and you can unsubscribe afterwards. And as long as you have a role, you get access to it forever.
But of course, if they don't unsubscribe, you appreciate that, right? Because I do think that you deserve some recognition for the incredible tool that you've been building and maintaining. I mean, this is really really special. And you were able to
Yeah,
add
I'll
Philip
definitely.
before he even launched in game.
Yeah, I'll totally appreciate it. I'll be really happy, and that's what actually drives me and motivates me to keep on improving the simulator. It's I see all these people who actually give me back replies saying that they like it and they like using it, and people are pretty happy with the results, and I get really good, messages and replies from it. So it keeps me motivated, and that's why I do it.
That's awesome. Yeah, guys, if you want to check out the Murder Ball Tester, I'm linking down below his Patreon. You can go check out everything. And if you have questions, leave them in the comment section. We'll try and answer them. I've used this tool a bunch. It is really cool and it's really good. But this isn't the only thing you've built, is it, Specko?
No, a while back I also built the crystal simulator,
So,
crystal calculator.
so why don't I pull that up? I have that in front of me now. What inspired this?
Well, I always wanted to find the most efficient, route for KVK anyway. Like I'm not a heavy spender, so I like trying to find, the easiest route. Unfortunately, it's really hard without, making something like this. It's kind of hard to do the math on myself by myself, like through a spreadsheet or a paper. So just, kind of like the simulator, I just let it do the math for me. I plug in everything and let it do it. Let it
Oh yeah. Well,
let it do its thing.
I saw this today and I was like, I have this like note on my phone. I'll pop it on the screen for you guys right now of literally the investment order that I suggest for Crystal Tech. And having this tool, because I noticed this actually captures the dependencies too, right? You can't move to level 5 until you've maxed other stuff. Like, this is huge.
Yeah, I always wanted to know, like, am I actually saving like how much crystals am I actually saving? It was always something that kind of bothered me because I didn't know it and I want to know it.
100%. Now you're gonna have to go through and add the tide effects. That'll be the next thing. Because you know that for certain tides you get discounts.
Oh my god. Yeah, I have to go through that KVK. I think that's my next KVK. It's tides. So yeah,
Yeah,
if I can go through it, I can work on it.
I believe in you. I'm in tides right now. If you need anything, let me know. But if you guys do want to go through and test out all of the different like Crystal Tech investments to figure out exactly where you're going to be, especially if you're starting KVK now and you're like, hey, I want to be at this point by past 4, this will actually let you figure out exactly how much crystal you need and if your investment order. So if you go in here, you can actually get to skillful operation, and as soon as you get to skillful operation, you'll notice that the discounts start applying. It's a really cool tool. You've done a great job here, Specko.
Thanks. Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Do you have any other simulators coming out? Anything else we should look for?
I'm just at the moment, I'm just working on improving the murder ball one because I have a lot of updates I have planned. At first, I gotta implement the inscriptions. I gotta put that back in, and then I want to put bastion skills back in too. Like I know that for
Ooh.
some KVKs, there's like commanders that can have 3 extra skills or 2 extra skills,
Yeah,
and I just want a way to do
stratagems,
that.
stratagems and
Yeah,
bastion skills. Oh man, that would be amazing if you could add those and you could say, hey, the Belisarius Bastion is actually not as great as everyone thinks.
I still think it's great, but
I
yeah, but like for other skills that not too sure about, I want the answer to that.
So you've really
So
built
that
this tool because you want to answer questions for yourself. Like part of it is that you want to help everyone, obviously. But like you are
yeah,
driven to continue doing it because there are challenges that you're trying to figure out.
yeah. So I'll get questions about for myself about certain things that I want answered, and that's how I'll make the similar. I want to answer that same questions.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you think there will ever be a 5v5 tester? Gaines and I were talking about this the other day.
I don't even think I have enough room to fit all that.
We'll have to do
Yeah.
a UI rework, but that could be cool because I know with some of these new commanders, especially with Ragnar, which we were talking about, that's it's a big question as to how can you actually figure out 5v5, with Guan, his silence effect, how that comes in when it's hitting multiple targets, or
Well, you kind of can in I think the newest update or the update that might be coming soon. I think you
oh,
might have gotten one of the earlier ones that I'm working on currently. If you actually go to the mode and you go to the test dummy,
yeah,
you see like 2 icons to the left and right of it.
I do not see
And
two
if you
icons.
read the two tips, they'll tell you like what it is.
Oh wow. So you've thought of everything.
Yeah, so I mean, click on one of them. Click on the multi-testing one, all right? And then you can change to like Ragnar. It'll, it'll test for the AoE.
So you can capture that. So I'll ask you a fun question. Should we be investing in Ragnar?
He's a slight upgrade to Guan Yu,
Okay.
and
What
he's a bit tankier.
and what about Philip?
Philip is a support march. I
So he
personally think you should have one support, at least one, in a murder
okay.
ball, because I found that they do better just having at least one.
That's awesome. I have one
I
request
try,
for you. Give me
yeah.
the ability to export the results.
Oh, so I think somebody suggested that one too.
Did they? Because I went through and I was like, oh, cool, I did 6 million damage here, but I have to go type it in Excel.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's currently what most people do at the moment. I mean, the numbers do show up. Like you can quickly test, and I think in the target dummy mode, the numbers show off like how much damage done, how much damage
Mm-hmm.
taken. It makes it a little bit easier just to like do quick testing so that you don't have to like jot everything down unless you're trying to create content out of it. But you know, it's just a quick way to figure out, okay, do I need this commander? Which one's better? You quickly compare between, like for myself, I just quickly compare between Trajan and Philip, like which one gave me a higher damage output.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about partnering up with the person who does the report manager?
Oh, Cuban Mike.
Yeah. Have you ever spoken to him?
I spoken to him way back, like maybe a year and a half ago.
I feel like you
Yeah,
guys
this
are
was
both
back like
creating these awesome tools to help players.
yeah. I mean, I've kind of backed up on the stuff that I want to like implement at the moment, so I'm kind of preoccupied. But When I have more time, I'll probably reach out. Maybe I don't know.
I love it. Well, thank you, Speckoh. You're an absolute legend. I just wanted to show off these two tools for the Rise of Kingdoms community and give a huge shout out and thank you to you for building these. I think they're amazing. Keep up the great work. I will continue to use them. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you've tried them out, what do you think? Do they work for you? If you haven't tried them out, are you going to? And if you guys have enjoyed this video, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. What are you guys waiting for? Thanks again, Speckoh. It has been awesome getting to know you and hear about all of these great tools.
Thank you again, and thanks for having
Absolutely.
me.
Shappy out.